Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The sun and beaches made me come, the beauty made me stay, and the weather, people, and the life made me move here. I now made a final move. I bought an apartment in Rio.
Granting me permanent visa for Brazil. I'll be able to stay here forever.
How much is an apartment in Rio? How to get the golden visa? And which penthouse did I end up buying? That's what this one is all about. And this is how I decided.
When this caipirinha is finished, I'm gonna make my decision. Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's a good decision.
Live and die in Rio.
Yeah, not kidding. That's how it happened. Oh yeah, if you haven't seen part 1, I suggest you go ahead and do that. This is the thrilling finale. And as before, we'll hang out in Copacabana.
Once again, guys, welcome back to almost sunny Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. In the previous video, we've had a look at 4 very different penthouses to see what a dream home in Rio de Janeiro really costs.
And how it will give you permanent visa for Brazil.
This one, we'll check out 4 more before finally revealing which penthouse I got.
Yeah, this is exciting for real.
Stay with me, guys, because this is my dream coming true.
And here it is, penthouse number 5.
Goodness.
This is a spacious one.
Yeah, this is definitely bigger than my apartment I don't have anymore back home.
And just like most Copacabana apartments, the interior is a little dated.
Another bathroom. And this room, I'm not sure what you're gonna do with that.
So many rooms in this one.
Some kind of bedroom. Another bedroom. No beach in sight.
A lot of rooms in this one.
And what I presume is a little dated master bathroom. And here, the suite. This is the master bedroom with some kind of balcony. Wow.
A tiny little balcony for the plants.
It's just so much space. This apartment is literally 5 times bigger than my former one in Stockholm, and it's half the price.
But this is the joker of this apartment. What's happening upstairs?
Vámonos ver. The penthouse, the cobertura. This is the big thing.
Yeah, because it isn't really a penthouse if it doesn't have a top floor. There it is.
First ever penthouse.
Let's get this out of the way. Yes, the pool is underwhelming.
So that one will need just a little work.
Or simply be replaced.
And we're in Brazil, so naturally we need to have a barbecue, churrasco style. And what I'm guessing is sauna.
As a Scandinavian Viking, I'm not impressed.
This is what a place looks like when no one has been living or cleaning for 7 months. Guess that would be my job.
But honestly, who leaves a penthouse in this shape? Shame.
Yeah, I guess it would be nice with at least a glimpse of the beach, but it is a terrace.
With some major work, this could be a really cool place.
And remember, listed price is not the final price. Always bargain. Are you also dreaming of moving to Rio? Check description and watch my upcoming videos to learn how buying an awesome rooftop apartment will let you stay in Brazil forever. Sweet life, here I come. And reach out if you want help with buying or getting your investment visa. Now, back to the action.
First of all, I want to say this. I've been jumping between Airbnbs in Rio for over 4 years now. After visiting 91 countries, this is where I want to live. And it's about time I get a home.
So no, it's not all about making money.
I didn't do this to get a good deal, but after studying the market, I was shocked by the huge investment potential. Not just are prices for buying 4 to 5 times cheaper than Sweden, renting is also so expensive.
Especially for gringos.
Looking at Airbnb prices for Rio, if I put my new home out there, the whole investment would be paid back in 4 to 5 years. Theoretically speaking. On top of that, by buying, you get a permanent visa and rights to a Brazilian passport. Now that's a pretty sweet deal to me.
Enough said, let's dive into penthouse number 6.
Now what I like to call the Airbnb house.
Yeah, I hope you get what I mean. This whole place just screams, no one lives here, but you're welcome to rent it, if you like staying in a generic all-white coated hotel room.
So now this is all just brand new, ready to use, and obviously already an Airbnb. Not a lot of personality, but damn, this apartment is modern. And yeah, it does have some surprises waiting upstairs.
But will it get more interesting?
This place is so white and bright and soulless. I almost suspect a Swedish designer made it. Where's the love? Not a lot of personality. This is a nice little bathroom. Master suite. And another pretty awesome bathroom. Just made for a comfortable little shower after beach. And the grand finale, upstairs.
Yeah, rule was these penthouses had to be within 5 minutes from the beach, but rules might be stretched if it has a decent pool.
Now this is a real pool. This is what I'm talking about. And it's got that hydro massage, it's got those jet streams running. And it's deep as beep. I don't even want to know what's been going on in this jacuzzi pool before I came. Gotta have it cleaned properly.
And before we leave, we gotta check this door out.
Ooh, another bathroom.
Overall, nice but expensive. And about my job. If you want to perfect your social skills, stay safe while dating, or want a wingman for the party, check description.
I literally don't have the words to describe how good this week has been.
That's one of the best times in my life.
I've had an amazing experience meeting people, partying, adventuring. If you got something done this yet, just join. What do you wait? Just do it.
You have to check Swedish Gringo.
I couldn't recommend it more.
My heart breaks.
And to know what's going on in Rio de Janeiro on a daily basis, don't forget to follow my Instagram account, Swedish Gringo. So, how do you actually buy an apartment in Brazil and get that investment visa? And what do you need to know? My friend and personal lawyer Ana Clara has the answers.
So Anna, when we've been hunting for apartments together, we've run into some problems that wouldn't typically happen in, let's say, Sweden. What's important to think about before you actually buy an apartment in Rio de Janeiro or Brazil?
So it's very important to carry a thorough due diligence, because if the property has a burden, this burden will be transferred to the new property owner. That's why we have been discussing so much about that apartment, and you didn't like to hear my opinion. You're very tough, by the way.
Been making Ana Clara sweat a little because the properties I like, they have a lot of stuff going on.
So it's important to make sure the property doesn't have debts.
You need to go through the certificates, to go through the documents, and be very diligent to verify if there is any unexpected costs that you might have with the acquisition.
And when you're a gringo buying an apartment in Brazil, does that come with higher risks than for other people?
I think it comes with higher risks because you need to have an understanding of the documents. The language is more technical, so I recommend consulting real estate agents that you trust, and also if it's feasible for you, having an appointment with a lawyer, perhaps with an accountant as well, for verifying your tax duties and.
Now that's a very diplomatic answer. But is there actually higher risk to people taking advantage of you?
I think not just in Brazil, but even if me, I'm an attorney in Brazil, if I had to acquire a property in Sweden, for instance, I wouldn't feel comfortable because I don't speak the language. I don't know nothing about the markets there, so I would prefer discussing with a real estate agent, with a local lawyer.
Do people tend to want to give higher prices to gringos?
Well, I think you would pay higher for an apartment because of your...
She doesn't like the same places that I do.
Yeah, I don't like places with inventories, burdens, and structural problems. Yes, I don't.
So what I like to go for are properties with problems with electricity, plumbing, renovation, inventory, contracts that don't seem right, and those kinds of things. And that will get me into trouble, right?
Yes, that's what I have been trying to tell you for so long, right?
If you want any help or to get in touch with Ana Clara, check description. Now heading on to penthouse number 7, or as I call it, the pool house. I stumbled upon this one by pure chance, and one feature got me hooked. Oh yeah.
I gotta say, this one came as a total surprise from nowhere. Look at this freaking pool.
This penthouse is totally wacky, yes, but the price is just insane. Remember, a property rarely sells for the listed price. It's not uncommon getting it for 20 to 25% less.
Nice vintage marble everywhere. I like it.
Now for the good stuff. It's dangerous here. Oh yeah, look at this terrace.
That is not a bad view, my friends.
And as we know before, it's not a Brazilian house if it doesn't have a barbecue. Pretty old barbecue.
And this one, this suite.
Not bad at all. Another old school, nice and big bathroom. A lot of styles mixing in this little castle.
Another reason I'm buying right now. Compared to just a year ago, the Brazilian currency is 30% weaker. That means huge discounts.
O que você acha da vista? Do you love the view? It's your favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem.
Yeah, I was gonna buy another one.
And the temperature? Just enough.
Amazing pool and view. Downside, a lot of renovations. Okay, playtime's over. How am I gonna make money out of this whole penthouse thing? I'm thinking a little like this.
All right, many of you have reached out asking if buying in Rio is a good investment, so I'll give my 2 cents on the subject. I am literally pouring everything I own into this because I love Rio and I want to live here, but also because I 100% believe it is an amazing investment. Just renting out 1 to 2 nights a month would cover all my monthly housing expenses. And Rio is screaming for accommodation. During Carnival, New Year's and Easter, hotels and Airbnbs get 3 to 6 times more expensive. And a decent studio near the beach is already well over $100 a night. And with Brazil's international tourism growing, it's only a matter of time until Rio gets direct flights from the US for Rio. When that happens, the market will explode.
Sim, Rio de Janeiro, muito bom. Vem.
Yeah, come guys, before everyone else does.
There you go. Apart from being a home, my penthouse will provide a vital income. And what if you want to make things real simple? Live right by the beach without any renovations. You get this one.
Here we go. It doesn't get more beachfront than this. Beach house time.
Yes, this does look good, but
First of all, we gotta see that view.
oh no.
I can see some beach hiding out there. So close, but yet so far away.
I gotta be honest, that was disappointing. But yeah, decent guest bedroom and a very proper kitchen.
All new and fancy, renovated. I very much like the marble, the black marble. It's exactly what I had in my second last apartment.
Yes, this penthouse manages to be both modern and have a personality. And a really cool fridge. Main question, will this place be big enough? Especially if I want to rent out part of it.
So this is interesting.
Nice little bathtub here with some jacuzzi effects.
Which I will use 5 times a year.
The problem is I've been so spoiled with these huge, really weird places. When you have a quality apartment with prime location, it just feels a little small.
I mean, it's still double the size of my Swedish place for half the price. And next to the beach. It's decision time, so let's recap the places we'll choose between. Let's get to it already.
I know, I've been keeping you guys in the dark for way too long. It's time to see which penthouse will be my future home here in Rio de Janeiro.
And before you start ranting, yes, I have set aside a renovation budget, and yes, I have good contacts. Here it is, the penthouse I've chosen to live, number 1. Yes, the very first one.
Yeah, I can see how some of you might be surprised. And to be honest, it wasn't my heart's first choice. But this one was simply much less work, and I got it for an amazing price.
$263,000, $47,000 less than asking price and 34% cheaper than the original price. So what did I get? 200 square meters with 2 bedrooms, a big office, 2 bathrooms, kitchen, storage room, a big living room, and a parking space. And the beach, yeah, it's right there. But which one was my favorite?
I think you know which one I'm talking about.
Oh yes, number 4, also known as the James Bond villain house. I loved everything about this penthouse, except that it was in awful shape. Ultimately, renovations would have broken my budget.
And yes, some minor renovations will be done.
The first step, reshaping the terrace, upgrading the pool, and adding a proper jacuzzi. Another cool feature for these Copacabana penthouses, a second entrance.
So the apartment can actually be separated into 2 separate units, in case you want to rent out but not move out. The ultimate reason I chose this penthouse. I let Ana Clara dive into the paperworks. Apart from huge renovation needs, several apartments were missing certificates and documentation, and one owner was in the middle of a law process, which in the end could have cost a lot of money. That's why you always need a loyal lawyer.
I'm moving in next month. Expect some renovation videos coming up. And don't forget to hit me up for some safety training and ground rules before you arrive. It will make your stay smoother and definitely more fun. Also, check description for your copy of my Single Man's Guide to Rio or my Ultimate Rio Travel Guide. And for help with any kind of visa or investing in an apartment, check description or reach out to me with an email. Thanks for watching and be safe.